What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to go over the pictures that we have gotten as of yesterday, I believe, of the canceled Superman as well as Suicide Squad game from Warner Bros. Montreal. So just kind of, this is very, very different than what we normally do. It's more of a news video. Again, we're going to be talking about these images, and I'm just going to kind of be giving my thoughts and a little things that I think we can also read into a little bit here that I do find a little interesting. So yesterday, obviously the images, again, of Metropolis from the Superman game, as well as designs for Harley Quinn, have come out, and these are from the two games that Warner Bros. Montreal could have been making. Now, these were two of the three games that we had heard were supposedly in development at some point in Warner Bros. Montreal. The third one is the Wonder Woman game. Funny enough, and you know what? That is kind of funny that one has not been shown, that we get these leaked pictures of these other two games, but the Wonder Woman game, we have not. Another thing is that the Suicide Squad game was actually, I think, further along than the other two, at least from what we have heard of it. But then it was, again, pulled right after. Like, they did get parts of it working, but then they just didn't like the product, or Warner Bros. Didn't like the product. Let me tell you, seeing the Superman image looks super, super awesome. It actually feels very Gotham-y, like an Arkham Knight, Arkham City kind of feel to it. That's just the kind of approach that I see of it. And the Harley Quinn pictures, very, very different. I know some people were saying that this could have also been like an early mock-up for Arkham Knight, because remember, they helped with the Batgirl DLC, or they made the Batgirl DLC for Arkham Knight. And that game obviously was rumored to have come out around the same time as the Suicide Squad movie, okay? That not the Suicide Squad, but Suicide Squad. So again, three images in all, two from a Superman and a Suicide Squad. Now, what can we kind of say from this? Well, again, I want to say a couple different things. One, like I said in the beginning, but I do want to address it, no Wonder Woman. And now, I've said for the longest time that my personal theory, again, it's just my personal theory, and I know I say in every video, so maybe some people are getting annoyed or bothered by it, but let me just say it for any new people here. My personal theory is, we know they're working on two games. I think the second game is Wonder Woman. I feel like they put that game down, that game didn't work, and I think that they were given the okay, or whatever, whatever happened internally, but I think that they went back and have started working on the Wonder Woman game. Again, it's a personal theory. It's more or less a thing that I want to be correct. Like, I want them to do it, so I'm just going to peddle it as like my own and it is. I mean, it is my own speculation. It's just my own thoughts. I think it does make sense too. There has been times where game developers have put down a project and then re-picked it up. And again, these images, there's none of Wonder Woman, but we got it of the other two games. Now, again, since Arkham Origins came out back in 2013 from Warner Bros. Montreal, they were working on Wonder Woman, they were working on a Superman game, and they were working on a Suicide Squad. Those were the three games. And then you could even also say they were working on that Damian Wayne, that like kind of like the Batman Beyond-ish game that was canceled. Now, that's four in all, right? And you could say, okay, well, we haven't seen that picture. That picture isn't here. Well, those pictures, there were images of that leaked, remember, back in the summertime, or back like in September. I think it was right before Halloween, so it was around October that it kind of came out that game had been canceled. Remember, everybody kind of jumped to, oh my God, they just canceled their Batman game. Now they have to restart it, and they're going to be restarting it right now. Obviously, that game was canceled a long time ago as well, probably around 2017, and then they've started to make the Batman game that we know now, whether it's Arkham Legacy or the Court of Owls, whatever you want to call it. That's what they're doing now. So you could argue, yeah, I mean, that picture isn't here, but we've already gotten images, I guess leaked images of like concept art of what that game was going to be about. But again, no Wonder Woman game. Kind of interesting why there wouldn't be a Wonder Woman when, hey, if we're going to take a deep dive into the past failed projects of Warner Bros. Montreal, Wonder Woman was also one of them. Now, it could just be, again, a thing to quickly shoot down is, well, maybe those leaks, maybe those rumors weren't true about a Wonder Woman game. All right, I mean, that definitely would shut it down. But if they were at some point working on it, it's just pretty darn weird that they don't have it up right here. The second thing is, what's funny about this, and again, this is kind of complete speculation, is people were saying, again, like the Suicide Squad game was going to line up with the Suicide Squad movie. Maybe they were going to do something, maybe they were going to tie in characters, stuff like that. Now, what is cool to think about with that, and what's funny is I have to kind of go down a path that I don't necessarily believe in, but I do want to give it credit. I do want to just discuss it because I think it's fair, and I want to give other people that think this also some credit and just some love for me, right, for talking about it. But basically what I'm saying is, a lot of people have always said, what if they connected, or what if they're lining up the Batman movie with the Batman game? And I've always said I don't think that's the case. Games are way too messy for something like that to happen. You can't really, I think, ever line something up like that because game could easily be delayed. We're seeing right now in the world that's going on right now, movies are being delayed. The Batman film is most definitely going to get delayed. So that would kind of shoot that down right away. People said, well, maybe the Harry Potter game would line up with Fantastic Beasts. Only Fantastic Beasts was delayed an entire year. So, I mean, maybe if they come out at the same time, it not necessarily was planned. Maybe they want certain things to release at the same time, but I don't think you can 1000% plan it. I think it just, if it does line up the way that they had hoped for, I think it's just like a nice coincidence if that happens. But what I will say is, look, if you go back to back then, it's very possible that they were planning on doing something with Suicide Squad and Suicide Squad, so matching them up. So it's not crazy. I'm not going to call you crazy. I don't think I've ever called anybody crazy that thinks that, though. But I don't think it's that crazy to believe that somewhere in their heads they would like these things to line up, that maybe the game is, but you know what, another thing is, it's okay to have them be separated too, because you get people back into that world. So if you have the game come out in the fall, specifically this Batman game, whether it's Arkham or whether it's something else, if you have the Batman game come out in the fall, you get people back into that Batman world, and then 6-7 months later you have the movie. Now again, the movie may be delayed, so that whole kind of idea of thought would just kind of go out the window. But it's interesting to see. I mean, obviously, it's Warner Bros., right? They have to give the okay. They own all of these properties. They own all this stuff. It's just interesting to see that maybe that was the overall plan. Maybe they want, but at the same time, maybe they just want to do Suicide Squad, Warner Bros. Montreal, just because it was fun, because they could do their own thing, because they could have some sort of multiplayer aspect into it. And then, yeah, it would be nice because there's a movie, and so people are going to know these characters, and then we come out with the game, or the game comes out first, again, gets people into that world, and then the movie comes out. Maybe the game would have actually helped out the movie. I mean, the movie made a lot of money, but obviously, it had that whole thing where the first wave saw it, and then people were like, it was amazing, and then you kind of think about it a little bit, and then the bar kind of lowers from there. It's really cool, though. It's really cool to see these kind of images anytime we get to kind of look back. It just kind of sucks that they're canceled, that they at some point were going to exist, and then they were shut down, whereas we get Rocksteady, consistently, actually, and they've done a really good job. They consistently, obviously, go on Twitter and say, hey, let's look back at, this is the early concept of this, or this was this, which eventually became that, stuff like that. Really cool to see from Rocksteady. And again, that's basically because those are projects that did come to fruition, right? These ones, sadly enough, obviously didn't happen. So, guys, what do you think? Is it cool to see the Superman game, to see the Suicide Squad game? Obviously, just in very, very few pictures of them, but do you think it's cool to see? Do you think they really were lining up Suicide Squad with the movie? Do you think they could be doing the same thing with Batman, or even future games? We don't even know about future games that could line up with other things they're planning movie-wise. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And later today, actually, we're going to have a Arkham video, a Batman video, actually in probably a few hours. So if you guys are into that, if you guys are part of that community, make sure you check out that video. That'll be the next video of the day. Again, thank you all so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I hope to see you all in the next video.